Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tremaine, and today, in celebration of Black History Month, I am taking you on a journey to the historic Belmont Mansion, which is the home of the Underground Railroad Museum. Come, take a walk with me. Exploring the Underground Railroad through the lens of time and history allows us to learn more about slavery in Fairmount Park and in Pennsylvania. The Underground Railroad was a secret network of people and hiding places that assisted runaway slaves in their dash to freedom. Many free people chose to risk their safety and property in order to make a difference by assisting runaway slaves. Judge Peters and Richard Peters Jr. were abolitionists who used the law to fight against unjust laws that protected slavery in America. In our quest for truth, we have learned that the Peters family did not work alone. They were connected with organizations and networks such as the Pennsylvania Society for the abolition of slavery, people who held strong anti-slavery views. So walk with me as we go through their mansion and the exhibit of the Underground Railroad. Belmont Mansion is a historical mansion located in Philadelphia in the Fairmount Park area. It was built in the early 18th century. The mansion is one of the finest examples of Palladian architecture here in the United States. One of the many things that I enjoyed about the Underground Railroad Museum at the Belmont Mansion is that it is a self-guided tour. So I was able to take time in each of the rooms, specifically the first room that we go into, and just really kind of sit in the space, read the writings from some slaves, see the quilts on the walls, and the quilts told a story, and just really immerse myself in there and reflect on my history, reflect on the people that came before me, and those whose shoulders that I stand on today. So while in the orientation room of the Underground Railroad exhibit, you get to see the graphic panels filled with images of the Underground Railroad, the heroes, the runaway slaves, abolitionists. You got to see pieces of cotton because I had never seen it before, not from the South. You also get to see how this was Pennsylvania's one of those first stops along the railroad, but the runaways never didn't stay here because there were and laws in place that if slaves got caught, then of course they had to be sent back. And then of course you get to see they had a video so that you can explore and learn more about the stops, the trails that they went followed, the conductors. You learned that the Quakers were a big I don't want to say an influence, but they were big, not proponents of slavery, so they were definitely part of that, the Underground Railroad, and helping to hide slaves and help them move along the railroad so that they can move north and to freedom. Every room in this mansion tells a story. From the grand entryway to the charming period rooms, you can see and feel the presence of the people who lived here hundreds of years ago. Another fun fact that I learned while I was at the Underground Railroad museum was that there are quilts on the walls throughout the mansion, and the quilts were actually ways that the slaves were able to have coded messages. Um, Maybe some would be with the North Star, so they would tell them to follow the North Star. Um, Maybe quilts had like maybe sailboats on them to let them know that there was water nearby. Excuse me, or flying geese to indicate to the geese are flying, a certain way in a certain direction to fly in that direction. So I thought that was very interesting and also inspiring as a sewist to see that the messages that were contained in the quilts that the non sleeves did not understand or did not know, but we were able to communicate with each other um, through the journey of traveling on the Underground Railroad. Thank you for joining me on this adventure to the Belmont Mansion and the Underground Railroad Museum. If you are ever in Philadelphia, I highly recommend it as a point of interest and a tour to take. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and of course, happy sewing.